Lifestyles, a show designed to help everyday Australians create a lifestyle that inspires them using property development strategies. On the show, you'll hear from everyday people changing their lives doing property development. You'll learn from their successes as well as some of the challenges they faced along the way. We'll also talk to experts from a range of fields who share specialised techniques you can use to accelerate your property journey. I'm your host, Amanda McEwen, and I'm a founder of Rising Star Developer, and I'm really passionate about helping everyday Australians build lifestyles using property development. Welcome to today's episode of Building Lifestyles. I've got two very special guests for you. I've got Mel and Des from Queensland, and I really look forward to sharing their story. So firstly, hello guys. How are you both?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, fabulous. Thanks, Amanda.
We just had a very funny pre-intro. I tried it first and I blended Mel and Des's names and we called them Mez. So now I've got a better intro.
But we're known as now.
Yeah, that's right. We're sharing you behind the scenes of a podcast. So let's get into it, because the reason why I chose both of you, because I love your story, and I recently went around Australia and did a tour, and I met you guys both face to face for the very first time. Even though
it was exciting. Yeah,
it was exciting. And we've chatted so many times through the inner circle and coaching you along the way as well. But to hear your story, especially in an environment where there's a lot of new people there, and the timing of it right when you were about to bank the deal was just amazing. So I'm really excited to share your journey with everyone listening today. So firstly, just give us a bit of background around why you decided to jump on board the inner circle and do property development in the first place.
Yeah, well, I mean, we realised that super wasn't going to provide the lifestyle we wanted to have when we retire, and so we really didn't want to be paying back a 30-year loan either. So we needed to put some strategies in place to fast-track that, and we were most comfortable with property, given that we sort of had a key interest in that, and it was something that we chose to do together rather than do something apart. So I think that's a big motivation. That's something that we both enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's a tangible thing for us, property, that we feel like we can control the outcome rather than shares or something else that I feel like it can be a little bit hit and miss. So, property is definitely something that we were both had a lot of common interests with. Yeah.
Okay, great. And what gave you the courage to invest in yourself?
Well, it's like anything. You've got to back yourself. There's a lot that we didn't know. Like we had a property on the north side that we had a pipe dream that we wanted to develop over there, but we didn't know how to. So that's how we came and found you, because you were just very much into development, and that was exactly that next chapter that we were wanting to explore. So the timing was perfect, and we felt like we got the tools that we needed to start making that happen.
The tools and courage.
Yes, more importantly, courage. Yeah, that's right.
And so you joined the Inner Circle in March of 2021, so not that long ago. And I remember I've had many conversations as you've navigated the deal, and I look forward to sharing that detail with whoever's listening.
Yeah.
But I remember you sent me a video, Mel, and you held up a piece of paper, and I'd love you to share what it was and how that actually helped you.
Yeah. I swear to God, it's not, this wasn't pre-planned, but it's, I'm not sure that you can see that, but it says, Amanda says I can do this. And every time I had a little seed of doubt of not knowing about speaking to counsel or a real estate agent or, a builder or planner, anyone, and just not having that little bit of extra courage that I needed to kind of have that confidence. I just always kind of felt like you've had my back in some way or another to, help to propel us forward with this journey. And to give us that little bit of confidence that we've needed to kind of keep going.
Yeah, and it is a real confidence game, isn't it? Because
it is,
some of the things you're doing is not complicated when you actually write down the steps that you need to follow to do a development. But I remember myself, the first time you have to call a builder or call a counsellor, you feel like you're going to be mumbling your words and asking really silly questions, and it really does come down to confidence, doesn't it?
Yes, 100%. And it's not something that, you know, we were educated in beforehand of how to. It's not something you're ever taught at school. So, or university.
I think we found that your tools, Amanda, when joining the videos and the PowerPoints and the documents, the checklists, I guess, if you want to call them those, they were pretty helpful with us in terms of making our approach to the development strategy more systematic. So, and it sort of unwound a lot of the mystery around it all, and I guess that's really probably been one of the big takeaways for us is, you know, you can overthink it as well.
Yeah, and overcomplicate it and overfluff methodology, but it was really quite straightforward. And you know, the biggest probably takeaway that we had, well, for me anyway, was you know, you always saying having multiple exit strategies, and that's not something that we've kind of really had at the forefront of our minds with every, you know, decision that we made, and that's what kind of led us to how we got to paying off our house.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love what you said there, Des, because when you think of property development, you tend to think that it's this really complicated business that you have to be super successful, a magnate with a lot of money to be able to do these. But when you actually understand the process and teach it in a simple way, which is the way that I teach, is to try and simplify it, because once you understand the fundamentals, then the complexity comes. But once you understand the high level, then when the complexity comes, you can see how you then get to the next step.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then understanding to, you know, to each step in somewhat isolation to the others, you can deal with that, and rather than the sum of all the parts, which tends to create anxiety for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was why I was really passionate about the way that I've created the online course. I wanted it to be simple enough for everyone, whether you've done deals before, whether you've started from scratch, that you can get a really good handle on the whole process from start to finish with all the risk elements tied in there. Because I feel that the next level of detail always comes when you go and implement the learnings, or when you're actually knee deep in a project. You don't necessarily need to know the extent of detail right at the very, very beginning when you're just trying to get your head around the process. And I think that's probably where the success we're getting from people like yourselves is because you can actually get it. Like it's not, you realise it's not as complicated as you think it is, because you've been the bouncing ball has been explained to you in a really, really simple way. And that enables you to actually then go out and have the confidence to go and implement.
Definitely, yeah. And it makes you look at property completely differently now, especially when you're driving around, you look at places and you think, I know what I could do there. Only if they knew.
Yeah, is that true? And I'm sure you found this as well, but even the group coaching calls, what I love about them is you get to hear everybody else in different stages of the journey. So you don't know what you don't know, right? So when you start hearing about somebody else in another state doing a deal and you think, hang on a second, I hadn't even thought about doing that. I think it actually also then you absorb that by osmosis, and then that accelerates you as well, because you're right, you're driving around and you think, hang on a second, that's right. I've heard of a similar deal like this, and it really does open your mind to a whole new world of opportunity.
Well, it does, and then you can't unknow it. Once you've kind of had the education, then, you know, you do look at things through very different eyes.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer that, you know, education is a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, that was another reason why we came on board, was because we had amazing accessibility to yourself. You know, it wasn't just here's the book and, you know, best of luck.
We've done that before.
We've all done that before, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done that before. Yeah. So I think the timing for us was perfect.
Right. Yeah. I'm a big believer that the teacher comes when the student's ready.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Now let's get into your deal, because I love the journey that you've been on with this deal. So let's share with everyone that's listening how it came about and the journey that you've gone through in the last few months.
It sort of came about through being active with agents and multiple agents at any given time. We were ready to buy. We knew that we wanted a property that we could develop. So we wanted it to be the right type of zoning, in our affordability range, something that had some type of income on it, and that wasn't available. So when Mel went to ring up about a particular property we wanted to look at, that had already gone. But the agent already said, well, actually, I've got another one that's just come on market. And without that connection that Mel had, we wouldn't have known about it. So, being front of mind with the agents is pretty important. I'm sure they've got lots of people ringing them now, but you need to develop that rapport in the area that you think you're going to be best suited to, and know that area well. So when you see a deal come your way, it's a good deal. So we purchased that in 2013 with the view of holding until we could, position ourselves to do some development and
moved away for a bit.
Yeah, and then we sort of moved around. We went to Victoria for a few years and came back, and then so that was the time. So we were going through the process of design, concept design, talking to planners about building townhouses on there, and they changed their local planning requirements. So they wanted to probably push for more townhouses than we were really wanting to do. So notwithstanding that, we continued to go forward. But again, talking to the agent saying, look, there must be someone out there who is looking for a development block as well, who wants to maximise that opportunity. And just by putting it out into the ether.
We were building the feasibility as well.
Oh, correct, yeah.
Only we could put 6 on the block. It was just 1,012 square metre block, and that we were comfortable with putting 6 on, but then it came to no, it has to be at least 7.5 that you put on this, and it was already going to be 3 stories, which was, adding to the cost, doing it with all of our, supply shortages at the moment. And then they said they wanted more. So we were redoing the feasibility with it being a unit complex, and it just became much bigger than what we had ever anticipated. So again, it was just in conversations with the agent that he
knew a couple of people and just put it out to those guys. And
we were looking to sell, but again with that exit strategy, multiple exit strategies in mind, it just kind of presented itself in a way that we were offered a lot more than what we thought that we could have got if we'd gone through with the build. So, and that was a known figure rather than with it being our first one. We were happy to go through a small development process, but we just didn't want something to drag on for years and years, and then we end up with nothing at the end of it, or a very minimal amount.
I think it probably began to exceed. It probably began to exceed our risk profile. So we knew that we needed to pivot a little bit if the opportunity came, and they offered us an amount of money that was also going to be, pay off the remaining debt on that property, but also pay off our debt on our home, which is being done and run. And now so through that process and through a bit of good planning and maybe a bit of good luck at the front end, we're currently sort of sitting in a home that's completely debt-free, ready to launch again.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly was. And so then because the house that we live in now, we've wanted to knock down and rebuild, and that's kind of was always our next step and part of why we're wanting to go through this process with you. But then from becoming then debt-free, the house that we want to build is so much more than what, we just don't want to take on a massive loan for something that we have to pay back. It's all well and good when you've got tenants or you're selling off something, but we just don't want to. That's probably been the biggest and best learning with coming to your live event, is that we thought, we are definitely ready to, even though we've kind of closed off that project, and we thought it just will really helping to launch us into something else. So that's where we're currently at. We want to kind of build up the pot a little bit more, so we're not rebuilding in something that we take on a massive debt that then we can't buy again. We don't want to be stuck.
I think that the price of the project, even 12 months ago has gone significantly higher. So therefore we're thinking we might just put a pin in, redeveloping and go through a couple of other deals first. And
again, with the confidence of what we can do.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of potential opportunities there, and through meeting yourself and some other on that night, we've set up a small group, should the right JV opportunity come by, that we're committed to or to try and work together on something.
Because we're all speaking the same language.
Yeah, and I think we're all at the same starting point, which is important. So building our little team continues, but notwithstanding that, if an opportunity just pops up that doesn't require JV, then that's the right deal for us as well.
Absolutely. So the ability to scale, and I love that you've managed to connect with other people inside the inner circle that has been taught and thinks a similar way, similar values.
That's never within our realm of being able to do something like that beforehand. But I think now, again, with the education, we've got that bit of confidence, because it's just a matter of doing something, getting in and getting out, and a start and a finish process, then and hopefully go again and
just keep reducing the rebuild debt would be.
Yeah, exactly. And let's have a talk about, so you banked your project, and I know we've had this conversation with a number of students, and I know a lot of people, when they come into the program, they just want to build something. And I think I've had this conversation with you and other people. It's like, you know what? You don't have to build everything. Like if you're still going to get great returns without going through the process, it's always really important to look at the time value of money and get the best return on that. So yes, you may even take a smaller amount by cashing out early, but the opportunity cost means that you can then go into another project rather than having to miss out on opportunities while you're building that out. So it was great that you were open-minded to that as well.
Yeah, we just didn't want it to stop us from doing the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love also that you've got this vision of building your forever dream home, but it's okay to wait for that too. Like, and when you can, and that's pretty much what I did as well, build up that pot of gold and then be able to just pay for it and not have that 20, 30-year mortgage sitting over your head for a house that you really can't afford right now. And you may be able to in 20, 30 years, but who wants to wait that long with a big debt over you?
Exactly.
How have you found, this is an interesting question, so you paid off your mortgage, how are you finding your cash flow?
Fabulous.
It's nice seeing
we've never known.
It's nice seeing your pay go into your bank and then not zoom out somewhere else
on the same day.
Yeah. So I mean, that's been the upside, to be able to say yes more often. We were in Melbourne last week or this week, and we went to a number of live theatre shows that we ordinarily wouldn't do. So
nice places. And it was really that was a great little gift and reward for a lot of work.
So that was our celebration trip.
Oh, that's good, because we always talk about being able to celebrate your wins. So I'm glad you did something special to
Well, I think as a family we've all made sacrifices, so it was really good to be able to do that with the kids.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and they're memories that will last you for a lifetime.
Exactly.
But it is an amazing feeling, and I think it's a feeling that you really underestimate. You think about this big fat debt and you think of it gone, and it's so nice to have it gone, but you really, I certainly did as well, you sort of underestimate the power of that cash flow accelerator effect when that money that normally goes out is still sitting in your bank account. It's like, hang on,
That's right.
I'm feeling pretty wealthy right now. It really does change your finance, doesn't it?
And the bank's just wanting to throw money at you. You know, we're being quite measured, I suppose, with what we're, wanting to do. But, we could build the big fancy house now if we wanted to. But I think we're just wanting to make sure that we're sustaining ourselves.
We have a couple of other properties as well, but we're just holding on to those at the moment.
Yeah. So, And also now that you've opened your mind to the possibilities of joint ventures as well, you're now confident you can do deals, you're confident to do joint ventures. Now your opportunity is going to even widen more because you don't have to use all of your own money to do deals. So I certainly knew that when I was starting off and when I opened my mind to joint venture partners, it meant that you can actually then go and build your house and you've got these deals happening and you've got these big chunks coming in, and it really does fast track your wealth and your financial goals as well. So it's it's something that takes a while to get your head around, I think, this whole joint venture and using other people's money. But when you understand it and you choose the right partners, it almost becomes a no-brainer.
And I think having the JV opportunity that's potentially there is that you can now include properties or development sites that you would ordinarily just have to say no to. And, the back end of those types of deals can be even more beneficial for all parties. So, to have that scope of, that at our availability, should something come up, is really exciting.
Yeah, that is amazing. So tell us about where to from now.
Well, we're currently just doing some more searching. We've had a couple of conversations with real estate agents, so it's back on the road, looking and developing
We've
our.
put a couple of offers in. We haven't been able to secure anything just yet, but it's exciting to us to know that we're getting back out there and ready to go again.
And
I think we've all got an X amount of time during the week, and I think the important part for us is getting the agents working for us. And the only way to do that is to keep us front in mind, and look for that off-market deal potentially, because that suits some people. It doesn't suit everyone, but it's generally where we feel a lot more comfortable. Because
it's funny when you're talking about time management, and you think you can create so much in doing property in such a short amount of time compared to, we're still everyday people who got jobs and, commitments that we, do. But it's, that we can see now that there is certainly a bigger and better way.
So it's amazing that you've been able to bank this deal on the side of your current jobs, and it doesn't take much of your time, does it?
No, exactly. That's right. It's just the little things that you do today that make a big difference later on. And we try and say that to the kids a lot. Because that's what's got us to where we are today. There's little risks.
Set aside 20 or 30 minutes a day just to call a few agents, just to keep in touch with them. It's not a huge impost of your time.
No.
So, they're the easy things to do, but there's a little bit more to do. You've got to put a lot of yourself into it at times. But being ready to go is important to the agents. Because they do have a lot of tire kickers. So they want the path of least resistance for them.
They sure do. And I think we also underestimate as parents as well what a beautiful example that you're giving to your children as well. You're working together as a team. You've got common goals. You're playing to each other's strengths, and the children can see that
too. Which we're always happy to share our experiences. So we want to increase their knowledge as well, so they can set themselves up.
That's right.
Successfully.
We talk about it quite a lot at the table, I guess.
At dinner time,
tax. We talk about the searching. I mean, we dragged them around in their little seats at the back of the cars for years, so they know it. They know the deal. But again, look, I just reflect on how we grew up. Buy a house, work your life, pay it off maybe, give something to your kids. That's certainly not my family's background, and it's so development and property and investing, I guess, are just completely foreign to to our families. So we want to make sure we pass on a little bit of what we learn to them.
Yeah, how amazing. And I'm sure they probably don't appreciate it when they're younger, but when they're older, they'll go, wow, what an amazing example you've both set for.
Well, there were a couple of young people that came to your live event, and I remember thinking, oh, my God, imagine knowing this now, in your early 20s.
Yeah, I saw that lady who brought her son in, he's probably thinking, oh, what have I been brought along to here? But I'm sure he got something out of it. If he took one thing away from it, I'm sure he'd have a benefit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what advice would you give to somebody starting out?
Goal setting. Got to have a goal. You've got to understand how you're going to get there. Reverse engineer how you want to get there, which is, the end point's the easy part. How to get there, the journey, I guess, is really important for us. And it can seem overwhelming, but if you break it down into smaller, manageable bites, it is easy. And have the people around you. There's going to be people around you who will always tell you why you shouldn't get into the property market, why the timing is not right. I mean, being around,
interest rates have gone up, the property market's going to crash, and
yeah. So if you're around like-minded people, then they empower you to be proactive. So we found that very helpful. I know Mel does more so than me because she joins in a lot of your online discussions and normally come home to a debrief of dot points that we need to talk about. So I mean that's how I stay engaged. But you need to build your team with like-minded people because with the group that we've met, they're fun to be around as well. They're really great people. And so we enjoy not only what we could possibly do together, but, they're nice people too. So that's been really good. And if you know your area, the area that you can afford to buy, as opposed to trying to do every suburb or every regional town or every location, pick a few and know them well. Yeah. So when you identify a deal that comes up or a property, it's a good deal because you've studied the area.
Yeah.
And,
taking action.
Yeah.
Take action, absolutely.
Try and in some way, make yourself accountable to yourself. And if it's not for yourself, get someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. They're amazing words of wisdom that you can share with someone starting out new, because you're right, you do need to know which way you're headed. You do need to build a plan and you do need to then execute on them. So very wise, and exactly what you both have done, and your results are proof that the process works. If you just show up, take a chance on yourself, go out there and make it happen. And it's been amazing being part of that journey as well.
Exactly, that's right, because again we are very much ordinary everyday people who just
I do I remember starting out with just reading books and going along to free things wherever we could, and it always seemed to be, well, maybe how could this be us, but it is for the mums and dads, it is for the young, it is for the mature. It's just getting the right type of advice and your learning tools. And, it is a possibility.
It is, that's right, because I remember, you see people getting up on stage and you think, oh, my God, it would be amazing to be doing that. But, it's been...
But, it's been fun. I mean, that's the best part. It's been really good. We've enjoyed a lot. It's not always, rainbows and butterflies, but it's, it has been mostly fun to do.
Yeah. Isn't it? And life's meant to be fun. So yes, there's always bumps in the road, but you push the way through it, and the benefits are always there. So it's been absolute amazing to be able to share your story. I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast is getting a huge amount of value and has loved hearing where you've come from and the journey you're also, you're still on. It's
we're still taking baby steps, but I think when you've got the oracle in your corner, then that just it does make all the difference when you've got someone who believes in you.
Yeah.
It's like any education. It really just does make all the difference to your progress. So thank you, Amanda.
It's been an absolute pleasure being part of it. And nothing fills me more than seeing you guys succeed. And when you stood up in the Brisbane and said, I'm just about to bank $300,000 on Monday.
$450 we took away from that deal. Wow. So, amazing. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Life-changing stuff. Yeah.
It is life-changing. So bank $450,000, you paid off your mortgage, the cash flow accelerator effect of that, money staying in your account, and you've got confidence to go again. So
and ready to go. Yeah. With the next thing. So definitely watch this space because we're hungry for more.
That's right.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Ask us questions, and we're happy to help out too where we can.
Yeah. That's incredible. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to have this conversation and share it with everyone. I'm sure everyone's listening is going to be inspired by you, and hopefully that might just be what somebody needs to be able to give them confidence to take a chance themselves. So thank you for helping me to help other people as well.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Amanda.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening. This is Building Lifestyles, a show designed to help everyday Australians create a lifestyle that inspires them using property development strategies. This podcast was produced by the Rising Star Developer. We've been helping Australians realise their financial and lifestyle goals since 2020. And we play a pivotal role in educating, supporting and celebrating the goals and successes of our students. To find out how we can help you realise your property, wealth and lifestyle goals, head to our website www.risingstardeveloper.com.au. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Building Lifestyles, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, leave us a 5-star review as it really helps others find the show. I'm Amanda McEwen and we'll be back next episode with more tips to help you build your lifestyle.